Fire, what you saying?
I give thanks to life, fire.
Serious thing. We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread podcast. We give thanks for everyone tuning in from those times till now. Fire, what reason about today?
Well, today we're reasoning about the mask that is worn by celebrities and also the concept of like celebrity worshiping. Really, I show the people them the role where them even playing that too.
No, big time, man. Because which one you want to start? We want to do the celebrity worship first? Or
Yeah,
about the
the celebrity worship, yeah.
All right. The worst thing, I'm not sure if people heard the same, but the worst thing you could ever do is meet your favorite celebrity. It's the worst thing because they create the image that has been created around them, or the idea has been created around them, or the hoopla. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's an image created around them. And too many times it's just like we as the fan or as the fanatic, we truly believe this is who that person is. Not understanding that the person has modified their the characteristics of their presentation to make it as palatable and as attractive as possible to the public. And they work hard, very hard, to maintain that in their actions and also with the assistance of the media. And we take it in as if that's the person, and it's farthest from the truth. And in doing so, we really almost forget the fact that that person is a human being with human characteristics. That is a complex being with inconsistencies, and the natural emotions that the average human being takes. I think there's this idea that the celebrity's always supposed to be smiling, and all this, and it's just like it's unrealistic. And I saw this I saw this firsthand, Fire, because especially with the reggae artists, we did a lot of behind the scenes and stuff. We would spend the day with them, and man, they tired, Fire. Yo, you remember the time we saw Kabaka in Brooklyn?
Mm-hmm.
But he went to Chef, but before he got to Chef, when he was in the car, how the man just looked tired.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? And it's just like, the man just performed and he tired and probably don't want to talk to nobody, and it feel away now if you meet him. It's your first time meeting him because the person up on the wall, you listen to music all the time. And I think you're expecting the celebrity to be as excited to meet you as you are to meet that person, not understanding this man's mind totally somewhere else or her mind is somewhere else. Then now when they don't give you that type of energy, it's almost like a FU vibe you have towards that person, not understanding. Do you want to talk to anybody, to strangers after you left your job? Or do you want to talk to strangers after you're tired, after watching your kids? No, you just want to hold a little reverence and keep quiet.
Yeah, I think this is a topic where it's a thin line because people have to understand, people have to understand that all of these quote-unquote celebrities are humans. They're not machines. So please understand.
And also I want to add complex human beings because some of them are, I said some, not all. Some of them are very extremely talented and their brain don't work like the average person, Fire.
All right.
And they have quirky little behaviors,
That is where people need to understand. Like, I get it. You have an idea. As the mother said, romanticize this individual, and the lifestyle of the individual, the works of the individual. So you expect the mutual type of relationship itself once you see them. But you have to understand that, human beings, regardless of how intelligent they want to be, regardless of how creative they want to be, they have different traits.
Facts.
They have different type of modes that they go through, and
temperaments.
And with that temperament, you have to understand that this is just a particular time, and any one of those can come out.
Facts.
While on the flip side, a lot of these celebrities too have to understand that, the influence that you have on some of these people's life. With that influence, when they see you, they almost see a God figure. They see a deity. So you're the closest thing to a deity to them based on
you are a deity.
You are a deity to them based on what they do. If you take food out of it, they more than likely consume your product or your work more than anything else. And with that being said, it's almost like a level of
responsibility
that you have to really uphold and make sure that with that communication skills, you can at least communicate to that individual that this is what's going on at the moment. Not that you have to get into too much details, but keep that in mind as a public figure. There's things that come with a public figure that you still have to uphold to a certain extent. So it's a balance. It's almost like a balance.
It's definitely a balance on both sides. I feel for the fans, there needs to be a better understanding. But on the celebrity side, I feel that one, they need to be proactive in the sense that if they know they're like totally off, not on it, they need to avoid being in public spaces. Like if a man know you really don't want to be bothered, or even if he has a parent, he really needs to lock it down and just leave so he doesn't deal with people. And at the same time, there are certain times if you do have the strength, to interact with the fans or sign a couple autographs and this and that. And I think many do a great job, especially now, because you can't really be an a-hole as a celebrity in these modern times with the phones. Because once you do fight, they got you up lying, talking crazy about you.
No, but Fire, listen to me right now. Most of these celebrities are a-holes, and they show that in public too. But it's just that based on with the social media, here's another spin. It's seen as it's spin that's being cool because now being cocky is cool. Being a person who don't just talk down to people for certain ways. It's seen as cool, especially based on what you're saying and the type of following that you have. Because they can spin anything right now with social media, and that's it. So it's almost like the a-hole personality become a part of the whole thing. So people see that and actually embrace that now. So once that's being done, it's almost like, okay, that's the norm. That's expected.
I thought with this big outing of everyone and documenting everything, I thought people would calm down a little more. I'm kind of out the loop because I really don't see it. I was just kind of I thought that is people would calm down a little more because they're being recorded so much.
That's why I tell it every day. I think I'm even the book I read right now, the Essential Notes, written by Squidel, Big Up Yourself the same way. They mention the fact of the responsibility of the fans, and I think that is very important because the fans can step back and make it look like the celebrity is doing just things that they want to do. If it wasn't cool amongst you and within your culture and the people supporting it, they wouldn't do it because they wouldn't get any sales from it. They wouldn't get any views or attention from it. These people who are celebrities crave attention. And it's whatever they're doing, they realize that it's bringing attention to them. Who is consuming all of these material that they're putting out? It's you that's consuming that. You that give the strength to that. If you said tomorrow, okay, this is out the door, that's no longer in the door. There's something new that's coming through the pipeline that you have to validate and say, okay, I passed this passed the test. Regardless, there's no record label. There's no record label. There's no movie company, no matter how much money they want to have, that can actually open the door for an artist like the supporters. Because if the supporters say that they don't like this, it can't come through the gate. And these labels understand the psychology of people and have statistics and analytics and insights about people that they can utilize to say, okay, this is the way people behave. Let's push this on people, because it's the people ultimately who is going to make them make money.
Do you think that a celebrity could be mentally healthy after a certain reaching a certain level? Because I think the duality that they have to live with and that pressure they have to live with to present this idea that people have of them is not sustainable, and it's almost crushing. Coupled with the schedule that they have and the stress of producing some form of entertainment that'll keep them in a certain spotlight. So what are your thoughts? Do you think like after reaching a certain level, you can maintain any form of health mentally, physically, spiritually as a celebrity?
Yeah, it can be done because it's just a type of product where you push towards people too, and the way how you attain all of these products and the direction that you go about it. Because there are some who are more intelligent than the rest that understand that, okay, attention bills. I did all of this stuff for attention already. I have this particular status. No, I'm still, they might still go out and the legends do things just for the sake of attention, but the frequency of it will decline once they realize that they have a fan base that's practically loyal to their cause. And especially if they've, people judge it based on monetary success, especially if they have a certain status now. So to some extent, it can be controlled. but it will never. You will. I don't think from you reach a certain status that from a mental prowess will remain the same as you would judge our group by the normal standards.
And the reason I asked this question, because you mentioned earlier in regards to like artists, right? And like one thing I learned, not all, but especially the big ones, like they really love the spotlight fire.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I don't think people understand the magnitude. These people really love the spotlight. And I don't think that's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That yearning, that constant yearning for attention, for validation. And I know that the praise becomes addictive. And that's why many of them struggle when they don't get the praise. Because I think the coldest thing to see is someone who was hot that's not hot. And how they still try to conduct themselves as if they hot.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because like they can't accept that like their time is done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the most crushing thing for artists and athletes also, you know, because just like it's addictive, man. It's addictive. And you know, I'm not a Bible man, but I do remember this story of Jesus, right? And it always made me think about celebrities and the metaphor and the lesson there, how, and I hope I'm not butchering the story, but it was basically saying how like he bounced around from place to place. You get what I'm saying? Like he never stayed in a place too long. It may have different meanings. I'm not trying to get no biblical argument with nobody. But I always took from that in regards to man's inability to deal with praise.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like from what I remember about the story is that once like he kind of got a certain vibe or a certain he dipped off. And it may have different meanings, but I always tie that to celebrities in the sense that man doesn't do well with praise. Man is not made to be praised, and man does not do well if he's in a position to be praised. And history shows us that after a certain amount of praise, it seems like man loses itself.
You see, in regards to this concept of praise, I think it have to be an internal. You see, once you have that internal praise, and I think a majority of people, regardless of how creative they are, who are in a celebrity status, don't necessarily have that real self-praise, that true self-praise, not the egotistical self-praise where, okay, I am the SHIT, like, you know, but the real praise of saying, okay, I did this, I've accomplished this. This is the vision that we have to carry out regardless of us being here. That humility and that internal self-praise is not there by most people who are of a celebrity status. So that is one of the reasons why them can't actually carry out what I just mentioned. Because there's only a few that can say, yo, I've actually reached an elder status in this thing. My status can't elevate anymore because I've already sold gold 3 times, sold platinum, X amount of time, received this, that, received that. What else is there for me to do? Bring some, that's why we have to respect even elders like Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer understand the concept that is him not just thinking of using you, but creating these things for you. So any youth to come now who is the current superstar, who do they have to reference? Because it's this person who actually gave the start. You can't look down on a person who give you the start and bring you to the forefront. That person will always be an elder. And if you think about who is the elder to the person in the spotlight, who have the more knowledge, who is the person who actually is bigger when you think about it. You're going to be the bigger person, but it's the ego and the fact that there is no validation within ourselves, of ourselves.
But I want to, we have to use another example because like he's an extreme case. I would just use an example of an artist.
But most people who you find in that spotlight has to be extreme because if you think about it, think about it, right? There's not many people you would find in this celebrity world who will actually have a thought process like that. It's very few, even though we would like it to be more. It has to be extreme. It's always going to be extreme examples because there's so few people who can get the spotlight and bring others to the spotlight, understanding that will not shift their role because the space is so competitive. That it's crazy. Them can't think about just their lane. Even though some of them already have their own lane, it's still a competition.
Do you think that we mentioned it earlier, I'm gonna delve deeper. Do you think that like I know fans don't understand when we talk about the duality of artists and what they have to do. And I wanted to elaborate more on that. What I meant by that is this, and you gave an example earlier, like artists are humans, right? The celebrities are humans and they go through things. But regardless of what they're going through, you as the fan don't care. you always want to see them smiling, performing, and putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that you pay for that, but there's a disregard, I think, where it gets a little sadistic because it's like, regardless of what that person's going through, they're supposed to be performing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's unrealistic. And I think that's one of the crushing parts of the celebrity life too, that demand where it's just like, regardless of what's going on, you have this show booked on your tour, you have to perform, and you really have to perform good. Because if you don't, you get bad reviews or bad comments or whatever, you know? And like, I think the fan, because it's a transaction in the sense that I'm paying to be entertained, they almost like disconnect the humanity of it, that it's a human being entertaining you and not a robot.
Mm-hmm.
And also the consistency and the level they want you to perform on, because in sports, you can have a bad game. You got 80 games in the league or 20 games football, 1,000 games in baseball, but it's like you play a bad game, they made something, but it's like they expect an artist to be 100 for 100. And that's not possible. Like, you're supposed to be on every night to the max.
Yo,
and that's not realistic.
Fox, you know? Because a fox you're talking, fox, you know? Because watch this now. Every day we see it. And we are going to use 2 examples. I will not care what nobody wants to say. Yeah, I tell you that. The example with Vibes Cartel, show you that, where people are saying, oh, just let him out of jail, all we want is some song.
Yeah.
All we want is some song. So them not care nothing about the situation. Them just want some song. Yeah. So you see, that is just so them can worship the film celebrity. And we see it with even Bobby Shmurda them. That might tell us that we can talk the truth is what it is. Even with Bobby Shmurda, we remember when Bobby Shmurda, we see Bobby Shmurda come from prison and them do them time. And Bobby Shmurda never released music for a time, for a good while. Yeah. And people are saying, yo, why did you come out of prison then if you're not releasing any music? Yeah. You know, how harsh of a statement.
A wicked statement.
That have to be for so, and it's not just one person saying this. It's not about the 2 examples then. It's not one person saying this. This is the masses that are saying this. So you mean to tell me that based upon the concept of you worshiping your celebrity, it don't matter what they're going through, what that ordeal is.
They're on business with that.
Nothing else. That's selfishness.
And what's wild is previously on the episode, we were talking about the harshness of corporate America. But the fan is more cutthroat than corporate America.
Yeah.
Because once you're no longer providing fire,
gone.
All that joy and memory you provided them from the one song, if you don't have no follow-up song to provide as much
this is the new memory, this is the new right? thing.
Don't nobody want to hear a man want to cuss you, you know? So it's just like, I think those looking to be, you know, famous or in a certain thing, I think you need to really quantify what you're getting yourself into. And if you be able to handle that road, because it's very harsh for you. Very harsh, very cold. And I would argue too, man, the acting, yes, but we're dealing with music and you're an artist, right? But I really question the life of an artist. If it's, no, for real, because it's like like artists, anyone I know that's been doing it for a long time, they sick, fire. They got health issues, you know? And I think it's the late nights, the bad eating.
Yeah,
the touring. I don't think people know how inhumane touring is. And I think Fire Eye, they never really I've never seen it. Maybe it's out there, but I never really saw anyone document the realities of tour life in regards to being squinched up. I think they glamorize it, but they don't show you being squinched up in a little vehicle. The friction between band and everyone else, engineers, from being around each other the whole time. The loneliness on the road.
No food for you when you reach certain spot.
The mix up with promoters because they presented like fire. Sometimes these people not paying you. You're supposed to be in this type of hotel. You in a motel. Breakdowns, issues at venues, stress on your personal family life. I don't think people acknowledge that aspect as one-sided. Like we go out and perform, it's a vibe, everything's great. And I think people need to acknowledge because it's a rough hustle. And I think artists are very tough people, fire, to deal with all the BS they deal with and continue to pursue their craft and create and perform. You have to be a different type of toughness. Yes, I would argue even more than an athlete kind of fire. Truthfully, in a different aspect, because it's just like, man, the artist thing is rough and it's cool because I know in all industries they throw you away quick, but the artist things seem like they throw you away quick, fire.
And nowadays, because of the content increase now, you know, hit song, quote unquote, hit songs last they have a shorter lifespan in regards to the hype it song, not the real valuable ones. It's like time span is just run the place for a month.
Yeah,
and
it's
now
not like a hit song can run for a year back in the day or something. Yeah.
Now all of these celebrities or whatnot have to start a think to themselves, oh, I'm going to stay current with this. This only lasts for a month.
And also, I think that demand has hurt the quality of music because now there's so much pressure to pump out so much music that the time isn't being spent to create on a certain level.
The creativity how much,
and I understand, like, because this is the thing people don't understand. Like, a lot of times, once you reach a certain level, you link up with top producers, top engineers, and top writers. So the burden is not on you to create. But if you're not in that position and you actually have to create music, how much music? It's not the question of how much music can be created. How much quality music can be created. And is that a realistic expectation for a human being?
But that's why the real celebrity is sure there's real celebrity worship, because you see, because even you respect a celebrity to a certain extent. Sometimes the quality walk, like really the quality, be honest. Like some of the songs them.
But it's just somebody you rock with.
But you just rock with it because, okay, there's a loyalty and you worship this particular artist. So every single thing coming out,
you work with it.
And it seemed cool, and you find justifications as to why it sounds good. Because
it's not really on the
maybe them start even present a lot of, enough people go to the extent to present certain songs that are off key as just being unique. Yeah, it's definitely unique. It's uniquely whack.
Yeah.
And that's something we need to start acknowledge. But because we're so caught up in the praise and worship culture of celebrities that we don't even take time to assess quality work anymore. And if you're not assessing quality work in that arena, what else? Which other arena are you not assessing quality work to?
I was talking to a breaker and he was talking about like the podcast bubble and, the interview bubble. And I was thinking we probably had a celebrity bubble too, man, because like, it's just too many people out there. It's just too much content. And it's just too much stuff because it's like, I don't know, man. I remember before it's like to see a person, you had to see them live. So it was a want. But it's like, yo, if you tape this first show, if his first show of the tour is on YouTube already, even if he's doing 6, he's not deviating from the set, Fire. It's their set. Maybe one little thing, so you already saw it. So it's like you have too much access to the person. I remember Alton told me this, man. He said, Fire, people not really supposed to see you like this. Create that, that mystique. So when you see the person, it's a joy. But I just think that it's just over access, man. And as I said, the demand to make music, because it's just like some rappers, man. It's a rapper I listen to. I ain't gonna say his name, but like he probably released a song every week. Probably a couple songs every week. So it's probably like whatever you record, you just release.
And it's a big misconception that this is just a whole work ethic thing.
Yeah.
Like that's a very big misconception thing that if you're not releasing a whole bunch of music, it's like you lack work ethic.
Yeah.
I really want people overstand that concept that is garbage. That is actual garbage, because again, what you want, is it just, are you focused on quantity or quality? And if you think about you just wanting from these celebrities who are humans, who are producing this particular content, can they consistently give you that high quality stuff that you heard originally and got attached to them or their works, if they have to pump it out every week? That don't make any sense.
And like, I don't know, man. I think this quantity over quality is killing that creative spirit in people, because you can't force creativity. Sometimes it take you a little time for the song to manifest. Yes, and if you're just rushing it on the sense that, man, I got to release a song tonight. And it's
the vibe's like, gone, the gone.
The vibe's not there, So it's just like, I don't know, it's a complicated situation, but the gist of the thing is, Fire, stop worshiping people, right? And at the same time, remember that the entertainer, the athlete, everybody, they're human beings at the end of the day. They have a talent that can be monetized. Yes, they may make more than you, right? But at the end of the day, they are human with the same thing going on than you. Outside of, they probably got a couple more dollars.
And a couple more masks.